Hello everybody, this is Daily Scoop with your host Scoops Lane. It's Valentine's Day, and this is the fourth day that I posted Scoop about homemade ice cream and domestic violence and how they intersect. Wink, wink. I have two Valentine's flavors of the day today. One flavor for all of the people who are celebrating and eating ice cream with their special Valentine today, like moi. And a flavor for people who are really looking forward to being alone today. Taking care of yourself. Maybe snuggling up with your dog and a good movie and a few scoops of ice cream. My special Valentine flavors are chocolate-covered strawberry and strawberry-covered chocolate. Because it doesn't matter to me if the chocolate is on the outside or if the chocolate is on the inside. Which brings me to my first story of the day. Hayden. Hayden is in the headlines. He's a high school senior who made national headlines this Valentine's week for having a heart of gold. So I'm going to read a little excerpt from this story, and then you can find the full story online. A high school senior with a heart of gold made Valentine's season a little sweeter for more than 800 girls in his Utah school by giving every single one of them a flower for the holiday. Hayden, 17, saved for a year and a half to afford the $450 it cost to purchase 900 carnations from an online wholesaler, he told ABC Today. He began earning the money by working as a cook at a nearby McDonald's and a dishwasher at a Mexican restaurant. And for the last 10 days, he's been bagging groceries at a local store. The gargantuan gesture resulted from years of build-up and planning. Every Valentine's Day since he was 14, Hayden would anonymously send flowers to dozens of his friends. Each year, the project grew larger in scale until he ultimately decided he wanted to make as many people as possible happy this Valentine's Day. Hayden's mom said he got the idea in middle school when he noticed some of the girls didn't receive anything on Valentine's Day. She said that broke his heart, and she called her son a sensitive soul, and he said he wanted every girl to feel joy. So Hayden, hats off to you. I'm so happy for you. And then so with the help of, just kind of like the longer story here and then the end, with the help of volunteers, Hayden handed carnations to 834 girls on Thursday. He hasn't decided yet what he'll do with the extra flowers, but he said he's sure he'll find something at school. I don't think anything can compare to seeing every girl in your life holding a flower as they walk through the halls, the self-professed romantic wrote on Facebook. I just thought that was the cutest thing. So when I read that, I saw that, and I was just so moved by it. And actually, Hayden's gesture sparked a vivid grade school Valentine's Day memory for me, actually, because I did something similar, and my mom was always so proud of me because I was always one of the kids who always gave a Valentine to every single person in my classroom, no matter what. White kids, black kids, yellow kids, brown kids, dorky kids, kids who had cooties, kids who looked poor because they had bruises on their faces. So one year, I gave 2 Valentines to a very, very super secret Valentine, and I didn't sign one of them. So we're all eating our frosted covered cookies, opening our Valentines. So from my seat near the front of the classroom, by the window, I would keep peering over my right shoulder, looking towards the back of the room where he sat. I waited for him to open it, and he saw me. And he turned away real quick and smiled, and then he began asking all around. I went to all the color girls first. Did you give me this Valentine? No. So he kept asking all the girls and made his way around. And then somebody said, no, ask the teacher. And then, everybody started giggling and things got sillier. And then I saw him walking towards me, but he was pretty far away, so he could have stopped really at anybody's desk. And he was looking my way a little bit, but then he kept pretending he was looking around for more girls. And he must have overheard the boy next to me teasing me, which I learned later. So he stopped short and quick at the most popular boy in the school's desk, the one with the biggest stack of Valentines in front of him. And he whispered in a funny, high-pitched voice, "Did you give me this Valentine, Jack?" The class erupted into laughter. And my funny little Valentine, that he did not know yet, was chased back to his seat by Sister Mary Elephant. So anyways, you know, we see each other outside of school, and we're a little more comfortable being ourselves and talking. So, and this was because this boy was also my neighbor, and they were also the only African American family on our street. And they were often subtly and obvious ways treated as second-class citizens, you know, by people in our community, families on the street. I mean, this was in the late 60s and early, 1970s. And, you know, what saddens me is to this day, racism still thrives in subtle and obvious ways. So, okay, so I digress. So after school and after homework on this particular Valentine's Day, as usual, we met at the Avon Lady's driveway and cut through her yard, and we walked down the creek, and like we oftentimes did after school. In the summertime, we loved to catch pollywogs. So, you know, it was some time into our walk, and I never said anything about the day, and he never said anything about the day. And I said, you know, it was me that gave you that Valentine with no name on it. And he said, I know. And there was silence for a few minutes, and then, of course, we heard my brother Keith's infamous dinner bell whistle to come home. When we were walking back, he kind of grabbed my hand to cross the creek so I didn't slip on the ice. And before we got across, and before I let go of his hand, I said, well, if you knew I gave you that Valentine, why didn't you come up to my desk and ask me? Are you embarrassed to be my friend in school? And he said, no, please, don't think that. Please believe me, that's not why. I said, well, then why? And we were walking, and he said, I heard Jack teasing you and laughing at you and saying you probably gave it to him, and he was calling you a nigger lover. So that's why I didn't say anything. I didn't want to embarrass you. He squeezed my hand for one more second and quickly let go, and we walked the rest of the way home. What I remember most about my grade school Valentine is that he had the softest hands I ever felt. In some future Daily Scoops, we're going to talk some more about, you know, race and class and power and privilege and how domestic violence and all these things intersect and thrive in our community still, 2016. So fast forward, moving 40-something years later, I am celebrating today with my very special Valentine and hubby Jim. So I will share a quick story about how we met, and then we'll play the harmony song, and since it's Valentine's Day, I'll let everybody get back to their honeys and what they're doing, so we'll close with a harmony song and not get into anything else too heavy. So I'll share this quick funny story. And this, you know, actually really was also one of the very first moments that I knew and instantly felt something very special and magical and lasting between Jim and I. So with this silly little gesture and a snippet from the story I'm about to share, you know, that's just really funny to me thinking back on that today. But I also want you to know that also at this very moment, meeting Jim, I felt safe with him. And I trusted him, and I felt respected by him. So that was a good start. because 19 blissful years later, our mutual trust and our mutual respect and our mutual love for each other has deepened. But before I met Jim Lane, and he became my Valentine in my 30s, I was single, I was traveling a lot for work, so oftentimes I would do my laundry on Saturday nights in this little plaza near my apartment. And so since it took a couple hours, of course, I'd go into the little bar next door, have a bite to eat, and drink, and listen to this guy sing. But he played like all my favorite songs and covered all like the music I like and everything. Like to this day, I'm just like, yeah, he rocks. I love all his stuff. So I was usually alone on laundry night, but one night my brother met me there at the bar, and Jim Lane was playing. And up to this point, I had never met or spoken to Jim, and I had been going there for months. Usually I would catch one set, grab my laundry, and go home. So until this particular night, I truly never gave Jim a second look. But I also wasn't looking. At the time, I was sort of seeing a guy, but we didn't get together much on the weekends. So I'm having a drink with my brother, listening to Jim Lane. And so when I told, everybody's like, well, where's your, this guy, whatever, that you're seeing? I'm like, well, we don't really get together much on Saturday nights. He's like, so you do your laundry on Saturday nights, and your so-called boyfriend would rather be out with his friends instead of you? And I said, well, I don't know. And he said, well, you better keep this dude and this relationship in check, sister. If he doesn't want to spend time with you on a Saturday night, somebody else would be more than happy to. And for all you know, that somebody could be sitting right in this bar. So we both looked around and cracked up and, cheered our drinks together. And we're like, yeah, well, maybe not in this bar. So then, my bartender friend, who Bill kind of had his eye on that night, was naturally eavesdropping and flirting with Bill. And she moves in a little closer, kind of tipping her head sideways and, making this gesture. And she goes, how about Jim Lane? And Bill and I both said at the same time, who? And she goes, duh, Jim Lane, the singer. She's like moving her head. So Bill goes, oh, the singer. Is he single? She's like, yes. He's like, let's call him over here on the break and talk to him. And I'm like, no, would you guys? No. So Bill and Dana come up with a reason to call Jim over on his break and ask him if he covers the song Possession by Sarah McLachlan. Bill's going, this guy's got an awesome range. He can totally cover chick tunes. So as he's walking towards us, Bill's like calling him over, and he's walking towards us. Bill gets up off the stool to go meet him first, and of course to free it up for Jim to sit next to. So being the smart ass I am, I instantly put my feet up on the stool so Jim couldn't sit there. So, we're talking. So Jim tells my brother, yeah, I know that song, and, I'll play it for you next set. So, he's walking away, and, I don't know if it's like some kind of a gesture, you're going to stick around for a little while to hear the song. I'm like, yeah, probably not for too much longer. So as he's walking away, he moved a little kind of closer to me, and he looked me right in the eyes, deeply, and he gently just squeezed and jiggled my foot back and forth. And he said, I like your shoes and your cute little feet. And with that silly little gesture and that genuine, gentle touch, I felt something real. And I felt something warm and natural. And, 19 years later, the rest is history. So, happy Valentine's Day, everybody. It's a little snippet about how I fell in love with my funny little Valentine, Jim Lane. And let's see. This has been your Daily Scoop. I'm gonna close with that. Go have some ice cream and celebrate Valentine's Day. And close with the Harmony song here by Jim Lane. Okay, everybody, have a great day. Annie, what's my name? Scoops Lane. This is only day 4. Cut me some slack. Okay, Scoops Lane, signing off, and have a great day. And here's a beautiful song by Jim Lane, Harmony.